Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome to today's video, and today's video is perhaps just my overall feedback on the Crucible Sandbox since Shadowkeep launched, how I'm feeling about it, what I think of certain changes, and so on and so forth. Now, obviously the title of the video could be looked at as it's kind of negative. It is essentially just constructive feedback, that's all it is. And to kick the video off, I'm going to talk about the actual positive things that I like about the changes that have been made to PvP, and there are quite a few positives. There are a lot of positives actually. It's just that there are quite a few negatives as well. But going into the positive things, first of all, I think 3v3 survival and 3v3 elimination being added to the game was a great change. I think Twilight Gap and Widow's Court are both fantastic maps that play very well. I do have a couple of gripes with, especially on Twilight Gap, they've kind of edited the sightlines a little bit and made it a little bit more congested. I'm not a big fan of that, but overall, both maps play very well. I do enjoy the maps intensely. 3v3 elimination is really fun. It feels good. The changes they've made to supers are fantastic. Being able to snipe supers, being able to shotgun melee them, or in my case, headshot, body shot with Chaperone, which is something I used to do in Destiny 1 all the time, is fantastic. I did a video covering all the changes to the Ward of Dawn, and I think they're brilliant. The changes to Ward of Dawn are absolutely superb. It's never felt better in Destiny 2. I still do have one or two gripes with the way the bubble works in this game, but overall, if you saw my video, we tested it against all of the supers, and it's almost perfectly balanced against every single super in the game, meaning there are some very hard counters, there are some that don't do much damage, but always there is a potential for the bubble user to outplay the other person trying to super them, and that is what has been missing from the bubble for quite some time. So those changes to supers and their super health, absolutely great. Other positive changes for me would be the range reduction for pulse rifles. Really allows scout rifles to come out a bit more and show themselves a little bit. I think the pulse range was just too much. I did a video months and months and months ago talking about Erentil and Blast Furnace, and I got a ton of hate on that video because I said pulses had too much range, so on and so forth. And obviously with that nerf to their range, like I said, scout rifles have more of a place now, which is really good. What else? Obviously, Armor 2.0 allows for great levels of customization for PvP builds. And also, I think PvP main players are helped out a lot in the changes to the armor system, in the sense that once you get a mod, you keep it. As someone who mainly plays PvP, I've always had a huge shortage of mods, and that has limited my capability to create different builds. Now, obviously, with the changes, as soon as you get any given mod, you can then use that on any piece of armor at any time. I actually just got my Traction June Marches at last. I got the Traction mod. I pulled some June Marches from collections and I put Traction on it, and it was superb. I absolutely loved it. And yeah, so there are a bunch of good changes. Also, the changes to map rotation, in the sense that quite a few of the terrible maps have been taken out of a lot of playlists. That's really good as well. That's a great positive too. But going on to the negatives, and the thing that the title is about, why the hand cannon range nerf was a mistake. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, he's biased. He just praised the pulse rifle range nerf, and now he's criticizing the hand cannon range nerf. But I think there's something you've got to consider here, is the range nerf to pulse rifles has been done in a much more subtle way, a much more balanced way, and a much less drastic way than what they've done to hand cannons. Now, I play on console, and there's like a rhetoric going around at the moment. Yeah, the recoil changes are really good for console, but bad for PC. And it's like, yeah, okay, so the recoil changes are good on console. It does allow you to hit shots more often, but now you're hitting shots for like 50 damage that would have been doing 70 damage before. So it's kind of like, okay, you've given us one good thing, and then you've just like kicked us out from under the table. Do you know what I mean? It's like it doesn't make any sense. Like it's just too drastic. The range fall off is too steep in my opinion, and the way it happens is just poorly balanced. You can take one step back and you can start hitting 50 where you were previously hitting 65. It's really jarring, and it doesn't work very well in my opinion. And I have a very, very, not like a big brain prediction here, but I think on console, and maybe even on PC as well, but I think on console, as time goes on, as people settle into the meta, you're not going to see hand cannons. They're going to get completely pushed out by pulse rifles, because hand cannons are kind of like, they basically work in short to mid only now. They cannot push out into like full on medium range. Even like, it's a blanket nerf. That's my biggest problem with it. Like, I can understand making this nerf for certain weapons, right? NF definitely had too much range before. So you could maybe hit NF a little bit, or just precision frames in general take their range down, right? That's fine. 150s can have a little less range than 140s. That's fine. 110s should have the most range. But now, like, 110s are absolutely useless. And I'm not exaggerating. They have nerfed that archetype into uselessness because the range fall off affects it so badly that you can't even 3-tap at range with it. And if you can't 3-tap with a 110, your time to kill is slow, to say the least. Even, you know, the previous thing you could do, and you can still do it, to be fair, you can, but it's in a very limited range. Like with a 110 with Rampage or with Kill Clip, you know, that ability to 2-tap off the rip. Now, if you can take one step back and you're going to start hitting for like 85, 75, and obviously the max damage is like 110 or whatever, right? And it's just too harsh. It's too drastic. It's kind of really neutered and killed the hand cannon shotgun playstyle on a lot of maps. You're going to be at quite a big disadvantage, and especially on console playing as a Titan without Titan skating. Like, you obviously, like in Destiny 1, I would run hand cannon shotgun on basically any map, right? Widow's Court, whatever, and you could circumvent the lack of range with your movement, right? You could get around the map quickly, you get into good positions first, so on and so forth. Now as a Titan, you're kind of just lumbering around the map, and hand cannon shot you on a big map is kind of a suicidal play because you can get caught out in the open and you can get ripped up by pulses and scout rifles. And I don't like that. The other thing I think is a real issue, I don't know about PC, but on console this is going to be a big issue. And again, I got a ton of hate when I made a video talking about Erentil about 6 months ago. It might have been now. It's been quite a while. I made that video saying Erentil is too good. And now Erentil is even better than it was when I made that video. Why? Because hand cannons operate in that same realm as Erentil, which is mid-range, right? It operates in mid-range. Erentil can stretch out into mid-long very easily with the right roll. And basically what will happen now is you'll be in an engagement and you'll start getting severe range fall off on your hand cannon, meaning even if you hit 3 headshots, you're not going to 3-tap that person. And obviously the charge time of Erentil means that you're dead. Like, it's crazy. I was playing comp and I was hitting like 45 to the head with my Kindle Orchid and getting mapped by Erentil. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, how are you going to nerf hand cannon range this severely and then leave Erentil untouched? Like, that's not not balanced at all. Like, it's really not balanced at all. Even, like, I'm telling you, like, there's little to no challenge now to an Erentil in mid-range. If you don't run away or disengage, you are dead. There is nothing you can do. I've played comp games where I'll be winning the game, and then someone on the other team will put on Erentil, and the tide of the match will just flip on its head. And it's really, really drastic and really, really noticeable. And I think nerfing hand cannon range, whilst not nerfing Erentil or high impact fusions in general, or not making some sort of change to them, is just short-sighted, and it's going to become very, very obnoxious to play against. It already was before. Now it's going to be even worse. Like, you can say what you want about Not Forgotten on console. I know it's annoying. I find it annoying as well. I really do. But before, if someone was using Erentil and you're using Not Forgotten, if you landed your 3 crits, you could at least, or, you know, 2 crits, 1 body, you could at least put them down before they, you know, get the charge off. Now, if you're not in the right range, if you take 1 step back, you're going to start hitting like 50 to the head with your hand cannon, and you're going to get 3 shots off, not kill the guy, and then die to an Erentil. And it's going to be very, very, very frustrating for people. I can guarantee you that. Even like pulses with low range are going to struggle against Erentil now. And it's a real, real oversight. Other issues I have, believe it or not, you're probably going to laugh because it's me saying this, but One-Eyed Mask definitely should have been looked at in some capacity or form. Bottom Tree Striker's super duration definitely should have been looked at. Although I will say, the Bottom Tree Striker thing, for me, is not as much of an issue because of how easy they are to kill now. So now if someone runs at me in a straight line with Bottom Tree Striker and I don't kill them, that's really my fault. They're easy to kill now. As long as you're, you know, smart about what you're doing, you can take them out and put them down pretty easily. The other gripe I have with PvP is skill-based matchmaking being reintroduced across almost every single playlist in the game. Now, I know this is a very contentious topic. People who are not good at the game like it. People who are good at the game don't like it. There never seems to be a middle ground. However, now we do have Classic Mix, which is essentially quick play from before, that has no skill-based matchmaking. And basically, that's what everybody's playing. And it's kind of disappointing because you see all these different modes and you're like, oh, sick. But then you go in there and it's just like, people are competing for $1 million, man, in these playlists. and it's not the move. It makes it unenjoyable for anybody who's above average. And obviously, I understand why it's in the game to appease, lesser skilled players and so on and so forth. But for me, I think they should have done it where if you're a new light player, you get put into your own bracket until, you've been playing the game for a while, and then you just put in with everyone else. And if they'd kept it like that, connection-based matchmaking for everything, it would have been better for a number of reasons. One, there'd be far less lag because you're matching people close to you. SBMM stretches out the parameters. You'll match people from across the planet. It's unenjoyable. It's really, it's just not fun. The queue times are way longer. There are so many reasons not to have it. Connection-based matchmaking, boom, you're in a game. Each game's different. One game you might stomp, another game you might get stomped. Other games might be middle of the road. It, provides variation. I think overall, SBMM is just not good. If anything, it should have been like classic mix had SBMM and everything else was connection-based. That would work far better in my opinion. So yeah, that's basically what I have to say. Overall, I do like a lot of the things that have been changed, but at the same time, there are a lot of glaring issues that I thought needed to be highlighted. At least this is all just my opinion, remember? And also keep in mind, at the very least, we're going to have this sandbox for at least 3 to 6 months. That's pretty much a reality. So, if you really hate it, just don't play the game. If you still find ways to have fun, then keep going and keep enjoying it. But, don't expect anything to change. There's no point getting too upset about it. This is just the way it is. This is how things are. This is my opinions as well. So if you disagree, that's fine. You don't be an arsehole about it and we'll be cool. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about the sandbox, how you're feeling. And yeah, that's basically it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to me ramble on for a bit. Don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, share the video, and of course hit that subscribe button for more Destiny 2 Shadowkeep content. Also, I'm going live right now straight after this video on Twitch, twitch.tv/DFPShake. So come by to the stream and say what's up. Peace.